Hi guys, it's Kylie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a quick video tutorial and show y'all how to make a magic circle, which is also known as a magic ring. So if in a pattern it says make a magic circle or magic ring, they're both this exact same thing. They're just called by two different names. So this is a very helpful technique whether you're doing amigurumi or you're doing projects that are worked in the round, like even blankets that start and work from the center out, granny squares. There are tons of times that you're going to come across that you can use a magic circle or ring, and to me, I prefer this method as opposed to chaining a certain amount of stitches and working back into that very first stitch, because if you have to work a bunch of stitches into it, it can become kind of hard and tight to get all your stitches in there. So this is the way that I prefer to start projects that are worked in the round. So to make a magic ring or circle is very simple. You'll take the beginning of your tail of yarn, and you want to make sure you have a pretty good tail, so you can knot the end in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So you're going to take it and lay it with your tail to the left and your working yarn, the rest of your yarn to your right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it in front of me and I'm going to wrap it around like a circle, like so. Then I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to put it under the circle, grab the working yarn, and that is how you make a magic circle. I'm going to chain one to secure that, and you can pull it tighter, and you pull it down a little bit if you want to, and now you can work whatever stitches you want to work in it. So like if you're just going to start like with some amigurumi and you're going to work a few single crochet in it, you can do this. So I'm going to work a few and then pull it and show y'all. So there's 3. So normally I like to start amigurumi, I work 6 in the top. So I'm going to work like 6. And then you just pull your tail and closes. Okay, and the main thing to remember is anytime you use a magic circle or magic ring is you want to make sure after you have a few rows, after you've worked a few rows on your pattern, that you come back and that you knot this piece of yarn, because if you just cut it here, even with that, it will become unraveled and will come undone and your work will come apart. So what I mean by that is I have a granny square that I used the magic circle method on here in this tail. If I take this tail, I've pulled it tight and closed it, but if I just cut this yarn, it will come unraveled, and if I connect them together and make a blanket, my blanket will fall apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to knot it. So you put your, because I think this is a common question I've seen people ask, like how do you knot it? So you take, I get my yarn needle, put my tail of yarn on my yarn needle, and what I do to knot mine is I just pull it tight, and I find like the next stitch or two here, and I go under, and I'll pull it, but don't pull it tight yet. So this little loop, I'm going to go back in that loop, grab this side, pull that side tight, and I'm going to go back through that loop, the second loop I made, and pull it tight and knot it. And then that will make a knot, and then you can weave this in and around. And I'll make the knot one more time so y'all can see, because it's kind of a little bit maybe hard to, it's easier to watch than to explain. So I'm just going to find me a stitch here to go under. And I'll pull that loop but not close it. So there's my first loop. I'm going to go through that first loop. Okay, after I pull my yarn through it, I'm going to go ahead and grab the second loop and tighten that first one. And then I'm going to go through that second loop and just pull and tighten, so that makes another knot. So you can see I have 2 knots there, but I'd normally just do it once and make 1 knot. And so then there's that knot, and then you can just take your tail and pull it through around the circle a little bit and help weave that in. So, and then you can cut the yarn there and it will not come unraveled, but you have to make sure you do that knot or else your projects will fall apart, because I've seen too many people make blankets and use the magic circle and not knot it, and their blankets will come apart in the middle of their squares or something. So yeah, that's the main thing to remember. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. If y'all did, be sure and subscribe and give me a thumbs up for this video, and check out my blog for free crochet patterns and other stitch tutorials. Happy crocheting, guys.